Life and death dance in an eternal loop. In the harsh Kalahari Desert, silence is absolute before the chase begins. For the cheetah, time is the greatest adversary. It has only 20 seconds at full speed before its body overheacts and forces a halt. But its prey, the oryx, is not easily subdued. Rather than fleeing in panic, it may turn to face its pursuer when cornered. A special brain cooling system allows it to remain clear-headed under duress. Horns, over 3.3 feet long, become sharp weapons, forcing any predator to be wary. Against such an opponent, even a cheetah's speed is not always enough. Even young lions pay a price when confronting an oryx. For them, it is not just a hunt, but a test of patience and experience. A single miscalculation can result in injury. Those sharp horns form a formidable defense, enough to repel inexperienced predators. But in time, they will learn to wait, to coordinate, and to choose the right moment. For one day, these novices will become true rulers. As the lion cubs survive their 5th month, their innate curiosity gives way to their first hunting lessons. This learning process is not mere imitation. It is the inheritance of survival strategies from the previous generation, especially from the lioness. Genetics and social behavior have shaped their future from the very first moments. Biological studies show that young lionesses often join the pride's hunts early, learning coordination and tactical skills. In contrast, young males focus more on developing physical strength and confrontational skills, often through scavenging. All are necessary preparations for the distinct roles and responsibilities they will assume as adults. As the cubs grow, their mother's training regimen becomes more demanding. No longer are the targets easy. The lioness begins to stage true rehearsals, where the line between life and death becomes blurred. In silence, the lioness observes and guides, demanding absolute focus and precise coordination from her offspring. Yet, the young are inherently impatient. A single moment of lost control by one fledgling member can ruin an entire, carefully calculated plan. Science has shown that this trial and error process is crucial for the cubs to learn the exact timing and method of attack. Failure in a wildebeest hunt is a painful lesson. It forces the young predators to recognize their limits and shift to more suitable targets. In the harshness of the natural world, difficult circumstances sometimes bring opportunity. A desperate foal, separated from the herd, might become the next objective. The prey's suffering is the predator's chance for survival, a cruel but necessary law of nature. On the savannah, death is not the end. It is a beginning, the life force that nourishes another being. The sun sets, and a new drama begins with a hunt that has no end. But even a prince must learn humility, especially when his opponent is a living legend. The African buffalo, nicknamed the Black Death. A ton of rippling muscle and horns fused into a solid shield, ready to crush any arrogance that dares to challenge it. The strength of these giants lies not in the individual, but in their unity. Protecting the herd is a sacred command. When their boundary is crossed, they do not flee. Instead, the entire herd masses together, forming a living wall, an impregnable fortress of muscle. The hunt is suddenly reversed. The hunter now becomes the hunted. The line between predator and prey is completely erased. And in this confrontation, no king accepts the shame of failure. Leaving the searing heat of the desert, we arrive at a different, yet no less dramatic setting. In the final days of Botswana's dry season, the dancers of destiny begin their performance once more. The plains zebra, with its unique black and white patterns, is an unmistakable symbol of Africa. Each individual bears a distinct set of stripes, like nature's own fingerprint, never to be repeated. But in this world, magnificent beauty can sometimes come with a harsh sentence. Hidden among the bushes, a pair of amber eyes watches with particular interest. To satisfy their hunger, predators must engage in this dance of chance every single day. The lioness prepares for this contest of wits with absolute silence. Beneath soft pads are sharp claws, which can be over 3 inches long. She knows her stamina allows for only a 330-foot burst of speed, so she does not rush. A single moment of inattention, and the golden blur shoots forward like an arrow. When the rains arrive, a paradise is woven from green pastures and the red traces of dominance. The majestic led stallion, weighing nearly 660 pounds, rules over his harem of 2 to 6 mares. To win this supreme position, bachelors must challenge the reigning ruler. This is a ruthless crucible, one that determines a true king. Meanwhile, elsewhere on the plains, the mares are fulfilling their own sacred mission. The foals we see here were, in fact, born only a few hours ago. But this happy scene is quickly shattered. A storm of fury descends without warning. When the throne is taken by force, the new ruler may carry a brutal, inherited instinct to kill the offspring of his predecessor. This behavior prompts the females, now freed from the burden of nursing, to return to estrus more quickly. But a zebra mother does not yield easily. A heroic symphony resounds. Maternal love confronts the harsh laws of evolution head-on. But not every mother's heart is strong enough to shield a fragile life from the cruelty of nature. Even so, there is no place for mourning on the savannah. With the arrival of the rains, a new journey begins. They need the mineral-rich grasslands that lie far away. An invisible map guides them along the routes of their ancestors. As the herd moves, thousands of stripes merge, creating a chaotic illusion. Life becomes a visual labyrinth that confounds predators. It is a living coat of armor. Much like the Mara River during the Great Migration from the Serengeti to the Masai Mara, the Boteti River in Botswana presents a true test for this army. While the striped herds travel thousands of miles, another, quieter journey begins in the darkness of the dens. Deep underground, a complex social order is at work. This is the world of the spotted hyena, a society dominated by females. An individual's position in the clan is determined by the lineage and strength of the matriarch. Unlike many other predators, hyena cubs are not born helpless or blind. They are born with their eyes wide open and a set of teeth ready for battle. And their first fight is, sometimes, with their own siblings. This rivalry is especially fierce between same-sex twins, beginning within hours of birth. The prize is not only precious mother's milk, but the establishment of a lifelong dominance. This is the first and most brutal lesson in status, in a society defined by power. The spotted hyena is one of the most brutal and effective predators on the African savannah. Its appearance may seem unusual, but its body is perfectly adapted for hunting. Low, powerful, weighing from 100 to over 176 pounds. Shoulders higher than its hips, a broad head, and above all, one of the most powerful jaws among carnivorous mammals. With a yellow coat spotted with dark patches and a muscular neck that helps it tear flesh, carry prey, and even confront other predators, the hyena is an efficient machine. The spotted hyena is an extremely intelligent omnivore. Its diet varies with the seasons and opportunities. They hunt in groups, attacking wildebeest, zebras, impalas, but also scavenge. A clan can be up to 80 individuals led by an alpha female, a rare phenomenon among mammals. This matriarchal structure is highly organized. When the rainy season ends, a great change occurs. Mother's milk gradually gives way to harsh lessons in survival. The true hunting instinct awakens. Their jaws are forged, preparing for the bone-crushing power to come. Defying old prejudices, spotted hyenas are active and efficient predators, with over 60% of their diet coming from their own hunts. They rely not on the speed of a cheetah, but on endurance and pack tactics to exhaust their prey. Confidence, and sometimes recklessness, has pushed them to an unthinkable challenge, confronting the giants of the savannah. Their target is not an adult elephant, but the faint hope of a calf separated from the herd. But it is a miscalculation. The elephant herd is not just a fortress, it is a living wall, commanded by sacred maternal bonds and the matriarch's experience. A few exploratory steps from the hyenas are immediately met with a warning that cannot be ignored. The confrontation ends before it has truly begun. This is not just a failed hunt. It is a costly lesson in the order of nature, about the boundaries of power that must never be crossed. Africa. The land of giants. But here, one species reigns supreme. The lion, the second largest cat on the planet, surpassed only by the tiger. A perfect fighting machine, weighing up to 496 pounds and reaching 10 feet in length. This colossal size, combined with a rippling muscular system, not only helps them dominate the grasslands, but also allows them to bring down prey many times their own weight. But their true weapon is sound. A roar that thunders like rolling thunder, audible from 5 miles away. A skill perfected by the time they are 1 year old, a defiant declaration of territory and a connection between pride members. In a stark departure from the solitude of other felines, lions have chosen a social life. A pride can have from 3 to 40 members, where related females raise the future generation together. Alone, a lioness has a success rate of less than 30%. But when they cooperate, they become an unstoppable force, bringing down colossal prey to ensure each member can consume up to 20 pounds of meat per day. Their appearance, too, is a story of adaptation. In the Serengeti, a thick mane is a measure of health and fighting prowess. But in the scorching heat of Kenya's Tsavo, these kings shed that crown, going maneless to survive the searing heat. Once dominant across continents, their kingdom is now shrinking. Habitat loss and poaching are pushing this species to the brink. Only 20,000 remain in Africa, and a mere 500 inches India. The king of beasts is facing its own greatest battle for survival. The symphony of life and death in the Serengeti is one of its most majestic spectacles. But Africa's story of resilience is also written elsewhere, in Zakuma National Park in southeastern Chad. The park lies in the Sudan-Sahel Transition Ecozone, a region representing the convergence of the Sahara's edge and the Central African rainforests. Zakuma was officially established in 1963, becoming the nation's first national park and one of the oldest nature reserves in Central Africa. Today, Zakuma is home to over 130 mammal species, including the Big Five after black rhinos were reintroduced in 2018. The bird life is also incredibly diverse, with 530 species. The Cordovan giraffe, the tallest land animal, faces a true challenge to survive the dry season. A critically endangered subspecies, fewer than 2,000 Cordovan giraffes remain in the wild. Over half of them live in the central region of Zakuma. According to 2024 data from the Giraffe Conservation Foundation, compared to other subspecies, the Cordovan giraffe is considerably smaller, with an average height of 15 to 18 feet. Its oral structure, with flexible lips and a tongue that can reach nearly 18 inches, allows it to easily browse on leaves from thorny branches. This is a remarkable biological advantage, reducing direct competition with other herbivores. Due to its long neck and specialized cardiovascular system, the blood pressure required to pump blood to the brain is twice that of a human. The act of bending down to drink during the dry season, when water sources are just small pools, carries the risk of a sudden drop in blood pressure and a serious loss of balance. A simple misstep at this moment could be perilous. To adapt, the Cordovan giraffe minimizes the time it keeps its head low and often moves in the early morning when temperatures are more tolerable. An even greater concern is its slow reproductive cycle and low birth rate. Each female gives birth to a single calf after a gestation period of up to 15 months. In contrast to many species in Zakuma that tend to hide from the daytime heat, the warthog remains active, especially during the hottest hours. It spends 60 to 70% of its day foraging. With curved tusks and a low-slung body, it can dig deep burrows for shelter at night. When green pastures are nearly gone, the warthog kneels to eat, a behavior that conserves energy and makes it easier to find roots. Although not particularly large, the warthog is not merely a passive defender. Adults can charge threats with their sharp tusks. When protecting their young, female warthogs may even proactively confront mid-sized predators. As the warthog retreats to its burrow after a day's activity, the king of the savannah appears. The West African lion. The arid savanna of Zakuma is not an easy place to live. But lions persist here, not because it is the best place, but because it is the best fit for their survival strategy. Lions in Zakuma are smaller than their eastern and southern African counterparts, with males averaging between 265 and 330 pounds. With a sparse mane and a leaner build, they possess greater agility and consume less energy, a vital advantage in a harsh environment. They hunt primarily at night and dawn, according to GPS tracking data installed in early 2025. Water holes are vital during the dry season, and thus they become strategic ambush points. In Zakuma, lion prides are often small, with just 3 to 6 individuals. The low prey density and the need to cover vast territories explain this structure. The lionesses are the center of the hunting activity, while the males are responsible for protecting the pride. In return, they have priority access to food. This is a rule that maintains order and security within the pride. Genetic analysis in 2024 by the European Institute of Conservation Biology revealed that Zakuma's lion possess an intermediate genetic profile. This demonstrates their essential role in connecting the remaining genetic corridors of the subspecies Panthera leo. With fewer than 1,000 mature individuals left in the wild, Zakuma National Park holds a vital position in the recovery and genetic diversity of the region. The African white-backed vulture. As the most common vulture in sub-Saharan Africa, they make up nearly 50% of all vultures in Chad. According to a 2024 biological survey in Zakuma, With a wingspan of up to 7.5 feet and extremely sharp vision, it can spot a carcass from a distance of 2.5 to 3 miles. When one individual spots an opportunity, it circles in a spiral above the site, a clear visual signal that attracts other vultures within minutes. During the dry season, when carcasses are more common, this species' role is amplified. They can clean a carcass in hours, eliminating pathogens such as anthrax. According to a 2025 report by African Parks, the presence of these vultures has reduced the risk of disease transmission from large animal carcasses by up to 85%. Antelopes belong to a diverse group within the Bovidae family, the same as cattle, goats, and sheep. One of their main characteristics is a body adapted for running and agility. They are herbivores, feeding on grasses, leaves, and in some cases, aquatic plants. Another trademark is their pair of permanent horns, unlike deer, which shed their antlers annually. Antelopes are also distinguished by their highly developed senses. Wide vision, acute hearing. This combination of attributes, motor skills, sensory abilities, and social strategies This humid paradise is home to an impressive diversity of species. Among the most numerous is the black lekwe, a subspecies of the lekwe antelope perfectly adapted. These antelopes live in large herds that can number in the hundreds, forming one of the most notable presences. The lechwe is easily recognizable by its golden brown coat with a lighter underside and dark hind legs. But most impressive is its adaptation to the flooded environment. Males possess long, lyre-shaped horns used in battles for dominance and territory. Amid the bustling life of the delta, there is a ghost, the sitatunga. It has a water-repellent, oily coat and specialized hooves for walking on reeds. When in danger, it does not flee. It submerges, leaving only its nostrils exposed, and vanishes. Among the winding channels and mopaine forests is one of the most elegant and numerous animals. With its soft caramel-colored coat, black markings on its hind legs, and ever-watchful eyes. They do not just see danger, they practically feel it. In a sudden leap, they can reach 10 feet in height and cover 33 feet in a single bound. During the mating season, males fight for territory with impressive displays of strength. The largest antelope, the eland, majestic and silent, is often seen wandering in small groups. Although not the most numerous, Its imposing presence makes it unmistakable. Males can weigh between 1,760 and 2,200 pounds, with some exceeding that mark. Despite its enormous size, the eland is a surprisingly agile animal. It can jump over fences up to 6.5 feet high, and over short distances can reach considerable speeds. The greater kudu is slightly smaller than the eland, but equally striking in size and unique features. With majestic spiral horns that can measure over 3 feet along the curve, this antelope not only commands respect, an adult male can stand up to 5 feet 3 inches at the shoulder and weigh between 420 and 595 pounds. The total body length can reach an impressive 8 feet, not including the tail, which adds another 12 to 20 inches. On its back, vertical white stripes run like brushstrokes painted by some ancestral artist. Each marking seems to tell an ancient story of survival, wisdom, and silence. The kudu moves with a surprising lightness for such a robust animal. A symbol of strength and mystery, the greater kudu has been revered by various African cultures. Its presence inspires respect not only in its natural predators but also in people. The kudu is a master of camouflage and disappearance. It is this duality between its majestic presence and its absolute silence that makes it an almost mystical figure. Together, these antelopes not only enrich the visual landscape of the delta, but also sustain the food chain. Along the vast Atlantic coast lies the ancient Namib Desert. During the day, temperatures exceed 113 degrees Fahrenheit, scorching the land and creating one of the most extreme landscapes on the planet. The only source of life here comes from the delicate fogs that form over the ocean. Beneath this sand, a silent assassin lies in wait, the puff adder, the snake responsible for more human fatalities than any other in Africa. An expert in ambush, the puff adder often buries itself under a thin layer of sand and keeps its body completely still. Its body is thick, short, and heavy. Its skin makes it a living mirage, a phantom of the desert. Unlike many other vipers, the puff adder does not possess heat-sensing pits. Instead, it relies on its keen sense of smell, tasting the air with its forked tongue and sensing the slightest vibrations from the ground. The venom pierces the black rhino's skin, injecting a brutal cocktail of fast-acting cytotoxic and hemotoxic agents. The black rhino's leg begins to fall into a state of complete necrosis. The African giant now faces a slow and agonizing death. Only broken bones and decaying flesh remain under the summer sun. "1,000 kilometers southeast of Namibia lies the Kalahari, a desert of unpredictability. The extremes of humidity and temperature create a harsh yet resilient life cycle. Here, meerkats have adapted wonderfully to their environment. They live in united mobs of up to 50 individuals. Typically, breeding rights belong exclusively to the single alpha pair. Other members are responsible for foraging, caring for the young, or acting as sentinels. Low branches or high dunes become ideal watchtowers for spotting enemies. Each type of predator has a distinct alarm call for the whole mob to recognize. This characteristic long, low call signals the presence of a snake. Though it is a painful farewell, the mob must continue its journey of survival. In the early morning, when the Kalahari temperature is below 59 degrees Fahrenheit, the mob warms up by turning their bellies towards the sun. After absorbing enough heat, they disperse in small groups to start digging for food. Their menu includes insects, larvae, roots, and even scorpions. Young meerkats are trained early on how to deal with the venom of various predators. Thanks to this, the meerkat has developed an impressive natural resistance to venom. Mutations in their acetylcholine receptors reduce the binding ability of many neurotoxins. Even so, they are not completely immune. Highly venomous scorpions remain a major threat. Therefore, the passing of experience between generations is essential for survival. Suddenly, the mob receives an unexpected alert. It is their injured member. It has cheated death and found its way back to its family. Meerkats recognize each other through the mob's unique scent. The joy of reunion is brief, but high alert must always be maintained. Healthy and bonded individuals form an unbeatable collective against nature. Though small, their collective intelligence makes even the most venomous creatures wary of them. Look at the honey badger, a master of survival, a creature that can eat almost anything it finds. With thick skin that neutralizes even bee stings, it eats everything from honey and ostrich eggs to venomous snakes without fear. In Cape Town, it is a target for the leopard, a cunning solitary hunter. Honey badgers are usually solitary, but the young stay with their mother for about 40% of their early life. Today, a leopard has spotted a young honey badger that has gone astray. Though it is a potential prey, leopards are often very reluctant to hunt honey badgers. The main reason is that the honey badger's skin is too thick and tough. In Africa, no creature inspires more fear than these legless beings. The black mamba or the Egyptian cobra can kill a human with their neurotoxin in just a few minutes. But just as frightening is the African rock python with its unparalleled muscle-crushing power. An adult python can reach a length of 20 feet and weigh over 280 pounds. Even so, in the land of lions, even the black mamba must be cautious. However, this balance is often broken by the curiosity of the young. Inexperienced lion cubs are the source of unexpected encounters. In their eyes, every strange creature on the savannah is just a toy. On a sunny day, the African rock python is not hunting, but simply relaxing. The 7-month-old lion cub sees such a strange shape for the first time. Luckily, this python is not venomous, but being non-venomous does not mean it is safe. An African rock python is capable of swallowing prey weighing up to 110 pounds. If the jackal is the maintainer of the food chain, then the leopard is the one who reigns at the top. In Nyika National Park, they are the dominant predators, even surpassing the lion. The rocky cliffs and steep hills here are a paradise for this climbing cat to display its power. As dusk falls, the leopard moves among the tree trunks like an invisible spirit. It is a solitary hunter, relying entirely on its individual skills for survival. Its rosette-spotted coat is the perfect camouflage, helping it blend into the dappled light of the forest. It has been patiently observing the antelope herd for hours. Its glowing eyes, with vision 6 times better than a human's, help it locate its prey. Every step is meticulously calculated, with no sound, no trace left behind. Before the antelope can realize, a lightning-fast blow brings it down completely. The hunt is over in just a few seconds, swift, efficient, and incredibly precise. The leopard never prolongs its prey's suffering. It acts with maximum efficiency. But after taking down its prey, its work is not truly finished. It must use all its muscular strength to drag the carcass up high, away from scavengers. The life cycle of the leopard always begins in silence and secrecy. After a gestation period of over 90 days, the mother gives birth in hidden rock crevices or bushes. The cubs are born blind, weak, and completely dependent on their mother's protection. The mother must frequently change her den to protect her young from other predators. In Kafue, Burchell's zebras possess unique glossy stripes, like fingerprints. These magical patterns are a weapon to repel the dangerous blood-sucking tsetse flies. Each adult zebra can weigh up to 700 pounds with a very robust appearance. They maintain a harem structure with a lead male, protecting the females and young. Many families combine to form large herds, creating a dense vigilance network with antelopes. The species' birth rate often increases during the hot and wet seasons of the year. A zebra foal can stand up after 20 minutes and run just an hour after birth. Their communication system is very sophisticated, from sounds to body gestures to maintain cohesion. Due to the abundant water in Kafue, they do not need to undertake long migrations. Accompanying the zebra is the blue wildebeest, a creature that considers water its lifeblood. The name wildebeest comes from Dutch, meaning wild beast. They have a distinctive appearance, with a large head, curved horns, a messy mane, and a bushy beard. Despite its heavy build, it can reach speeds of 50 miles per hour thanks to the power of its muscular legs. The wildebeest group operates on collective intelligence rather than a single leader. The impressive synchronization among individuals helps the herd react quickly to threats. Unlike the leaf-eating zebra, the wildebeest is a specialized grazer with strong teeth. They help control vegetation, creating conditions for other herbivores to thrive alongside them. In the savanna's food web, the blue wildebeest plays an essential role. Their presence helps to stabilize the entire predatory structure in nature. A large antelope herd can provide an abundant food source for a lion pride for weeks. The elimination of weak individuals helps to reinforce natural selection and preserve a healthy gene pool. As dawn breaks, spotted figures begin to emerge on the vast plains. They are the African wild dogs, the resilient hunters of the Miombo woodlands. Each individual bears a unique pattern of black, brown, and white, no two alike. They have an extremely tight social structure led by a powerful alpha pair. The excellent cooperation among members helps the wild dog pack achieve extremely high hunting efficiency. As the sun sets, this most efficient predator of the savannah begins to set up its hunt. Their tactic is not ambush, but persistence and teamwork. Their large, round ears act as biological antennae that help dissipate heat and capture sound. They surround and apply constant pressure on their prey, causing the victim to fall into a state of panic. While fleeing is the prey's instinct, persistent pursuit is the wild dog's specialty. Finally, when completely exhausted, the prey stumbles and collapses before the pack of hunters. The entire pack quickly finishes the feast before competitors like hyenas or lions can catch the scent. The adults will carry food back to the den to feed the young and injured members. The wild dog plays a crucial role in maintaining the balance of the African ecosystem. Their existence is a testament to the subtlety of nature, where every species has its own place. Amidst the dry grass and cracked earth, the white rhino lumbers silently. The name white actually comes from the Afrikaans word wid, meaning wide. Weighing 5,500 pounds, it is the second largest land mammal in the world, after the elephant. Unlike the black rhino, the white rhino often lives in small groups of mothers and calves. Adult males will establish and protect their own territory with scent markings. The gestation period lasts 16 months, and a rhino calf will stay with its mother for the first 2 to 3 years of its life. This slow reproductive cycle makes the white rhino population very vulnerable. Though they appear calm, they can accelerate to 30 miles per hour to protect their young when necessary. Any loss of an individual has serious negative impacts on the entire population. As of the end of 2024, there were approximately 17,400 southern white rhinos left in the wild. This is a miraculous recovery from a population of fewer than 100 individuals at the end of the 19th century. However, horn poaching remains a constant threat to their survival. Not far away, the Cesabe antelope, one of Africa's fastest runners, is on the move. They are ecological pioneers, often moving to new areas to promote grassland recovery. During the dry season, this species can travel 3 miles a day just to find precious water sources. The Cesabe is also known for being a very curious animal about its environment. Instead of fleeing, they sometimes stop to observe, a habit that is both interesting and risky. Though they may look somewhat clumsy, they can maintain a speed of 55 miles per hour over long distances. It is an instinct to escape from enemies, but sometimes it is still not enough to outrun a cheetah. The cheetah, the fastest land animal, but also the most vulnerable. The evolutionary history of the cheetah began millions of years ago. They chose an evolutionary path based on pure speed and precision rather than muscular strength. While females are often solitary, males tend to form coalitions. The bond between brothers helps them increase their hunting success and protect their territory. When prey comes into sight, the cheetah's spine flexes like a spring ready to explode. It takes only 3 seconds for it to accelerate from a standstill to nearly 60 miles per hour. Every stride is an explosion of energy. The lungs expand to their maximum capacity to supply oxygen to the body. The giant heart pumps blood continuously at a maximum rate to sustain the high-speed race. With a decisive leap, the cheetah brings down its target to the astonishment of all creatures. Even while panting, it must eat quickly to avoid having its prize stolen by other species. The early years of a cheetah's life are always fraught with countless risks and dangers. The mother gives birth in well-hidden dens to avoid the prying eyes of enemies. Newborn cubs are very weak and easily become targets for other predators on the savannah. The mortality rate of cheetah cubs can be as high as 90% due to lions, hyenas, or even snakes. They are only truly safe when they are old enough to follow their mother and learn practical hunting skills. Despite being at the top of the food chain, their life is never easy. The role of the cheetah is to regulate prey populations, maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. By hunting weak individuals, they help preserve the healthy gene pool of herbivore species. Now, in addition to natural predators, they also face pressure from humans. According to the IUCN, at the end of 2024, there were only about 6,517 adult cheetahs left globally. In the sky of the Miombo woodlands, a giant bird shadow glides in silence. The Lappet-faced vulture appears like a guardian at the boundary between life and death. It is the only remaining representative of the ancient genus Torgos in the Accipitridae family. Over millions of years, it has achieved perfect adaptation to the most extreme environments. Though silent in flight, the lappet-faced vulture displays a majestic presence when it lands on the ground. Its large, strong beak helps it easily tear through the toughest skin and sinews of a carcass. A small antelope can be cleaned up by it in less than 20 minutes. In the presence of this king of scavengers, hyenas and jackals often proactively retreat. Its appearance is very distinctive, with dark plumage contrasting with a bare, bright pink head. The featherless head helps it maintain hygiene and get disinfected under the sun when in contact with carcasses. Unlike other vulture species, this one often has a habit of living independently or in pairs. They maintain a strong, monogamous relationship and build nests together on tall trees. Each breeding season, they lay and incubate only a single egg for about 55 days. A young vulture takes up to 125 days to be able to fly, and needs 6 years to fully mature. Their diet is actually much more diverse than just scavenging. They can hunt small animals or attack flamingo nests to find food. This flexibility is the key that helps them survive through the lean, dry seasons. Contrary to popular belief, vultures find food by sight rather than smell. From an altitude of over 3,000 feet, its sharp eyes can detect the smallest signs of death. The quick cleanup of carcasses helps prevent the outbreak of various disease-causing bacteria. The eastern Miombo is the land of giants, and the Masai giraffe is a case in point. With a height of up to 18 feet, it is the tallest land animal today. Its 24-pound heart works tirelessly to pump blood to nourish this massive body. The maple leaf-shaped patterns on its coat are its most characteristic identifying feature. Males often engage in necking to compete for mating rights and establish status. These clashes cause the ossicones on the males' heads to often become bald over time. Masai giraffes live in flexible groups, mainly consisting of females and their young. They sleep only about 30 minutes a day through extremely short naps of 1 to 2 minutes. This habit helps them stay on high alert for lions and hyenas. Eating leaves from high up helps them regulate the tree canopy, creating living space for lower-dwelling species. Across the sun-scorched plains of Africa, life evolves in a delicate equilibrium. And at the heart of this arduous struggle for survival, there is a powerful figure, the lioness, an emblem of tenacity, strategy, and teamwork. Unlike the males, who often play a role of protection and procreation, it is the females who are the core of the pride's hunting prowess. Each lioness possesses a body built for power and agility. Weighing around 265 pounds, they can reach speeds of up to 37 miles per hour. And coordinate their hunts through subtle, non-verbal cues. Typically, lionesses stay together for life, often as sisters, mothers, and grandmothers. This blood bond fortifies the trust and coordination essential for the hunt. The average lifespan of a lion in the wild is just 10 to 14 years, not long compared to other predators. Environmental pressures, territorial conflicts, injuries from the hunt, and competition from outsider males make survival a precarious venture. Yet, in this brief time, a lioness matures quickly, reaching her prime at around 6 years old, when her strength and experience are at their peak. What makes lionesses such supreme hunters is their ability to bring down prey many times their own size. Beyond antelope and warthogs, lions can take down zebra, wildebeest, and even young elephants if the conditions are right. They rely not just on size or strength, but on precise cooperation, a clear division of roles, and an incredible patience for the ambush. Today, the pride is targeting a herd of Cape buffalo, a formidable and dangerous prey, but one that offers a rich reward. A Cape buffalo weighs around 1,760 pounds, is armed with sharp, curved horns and a fearsome temperament, and is considered one of the most formidable adversaries on the plains. Yet, this is precisely what makes them the ultimate prize if the hunt succeeds. Hidden in the tall grass, downwind from the herd, 6 lionesses split into 2 groups. One group moves forward to distract the buffalo, while the other encircles them, aiming to isolate a weaker animal. The herd scatters in a storm of dust. The silent warriors of the savannah have claimed another victory, not through individual might, but through strategy, unity, and courage. In Africa, the lioness is a symbol of resilience and the art of survival. Through their collective hunts, they can fell prey many times their own weight and nourish an entire pride. Amid the harsh Kalahari Desert, where the heat and ever-present predators threaten every moment, a small society endures through its vigilance and cooperation, the meerkat. Weighing less than 2 pounds and measuring just 12 inches long, meerkats live in close-knit groups of up to several dozen individuals. Each member has a function, from digging for food to standing sentinel against danger. One stands erect, scanning the sky, while others search for scorpions, insects, and small lizards beneath the hot sand. They communicate with a diverse repertoire of calls, issuing different alarm signals for eagles, snakes, and jackals. When danger appears, the entire group freezes and vanishes underground. Meerkats are not only skilled defenders, they are also adept hunters. A young meerkat is hunting a scorpion. This is a technique learned from an early age. This wisdom is passed from one generation to the next, allowing them to survive in an unforgiving land. Across the sun-drenched plains of eastern and southern Africa, a silent figure glides through the short grass. It is not a lion, nor a hyena. It is the cheetah, armed with a weapon no other predator can match. Absolute speed. With its slender build, lightweight body, and an extraordinarily flexible spine, the cheetah can flex and launch itself like a spring, each movement propelling it forward. It has long forelimbs, powerful hind legs, and non-retractable claws that, like an athlete's spikes, increase its grip as it runs. Large nostrils, expansive lungs, a powerful heart, and a long tail that acts as a rudder help it maintain balance at top speed. Thanks to these adaptations, a cheetah can accelerate to over 62 miles per hour in just a few seconds. A marvel in the animal kingdom. However, these sprints quickly lead to exhaustion, leaving them vulnerable to having their kills stolen. While female cheetahs live a solitary existence, the males, particularly brothers from the same litter, form small coalitions of 2 to 4 individuals. It is a fundamental evolutionary strategy, improving territorial defense, increasing hunting efficiency, and providing mutual protection. In the wild, a solitary cheetah is successful in about 30% of its hunts. But with a coalition of males, that rate can double. Each one is not just a powerful individual, but a vital link in a machine of lethal precision. Speed is instinct. Strategy is intelligence. The cheetah has combined both to become one of the most fearsome hunters on the African savanna. In the dense forests of Central Africa, chimpanzees, our closest living relatives, live in incredibly cohesive social groups with clear hierarchies and some of the most complex behaviors in nature. The chimpanzee diet consists mainly of fruits, young leaves, seeds, and insects. And they are known to use tools, such as sticks to fish for termites and stones to crack nuts, demonstrating a remarkable evolutionary intelligence. However, in recent decades, scientists have observed a notable shift. Chimpanzees have begun to hunt vertebrate prey, particularly red colobus monkeys. Meat is not only a valuable source of protein, but also a tool for forging social bonds. Males share meat with females, or their allies, to strengthen their position. From gentle fruit gatherers, chimpanzees have transformed into strategic hunters, using their intelligence and coordination to adapt to a fiercely competitive environment. The journey for survival takes us across the globe to a frozen land that governs all life. In the icy forests and snow-covered plains of North America, the gray wolf is a symbol of coordination, discipline, and resilience. They are not solitary or reckless creatures. They live by the strength of the pack. A full-grown wolf weighs from 77 to 132 pounds, with a muscular build. They can travel dozens of miles a day through forests, snow-covered hills, and frozen streams in search of prey. But what makes the gray wolf truly formidable is not its strength, but its cohesive social structure, which resembles a true family. Each pack has from 6 to over 15 individuals led by an alpha pair. The other members assist in hunting, raising the young, and defending the territory. The enemy is not only the harsh wilderness, but also the scarcity of prey. So, instead of chasing small animals, grey wolves focus on larger game like moose, deer, and especially bison. Bison can weigh up to a ton and stand 3 times taller than a wolf, but by using intelligent encircling tactics, the pack can turn this giant into a feast for all. On a white morning with biting winds, a pack of grey wolves moves silently across the snow-covered plains. On the horizon, a herd of bison slowly crosses the prairie. The chosen prey is a young bison that has fallen behind the herd. The wolves do not attack immediately. They wait, and then the opportunity comes. Victory comes not from individual power, but from discipline, persistence, and perfect coordination. In a frozen world where every day is a test of survival, the grey wolf has turned teamwork into its greatest instinct. In the frigid oceans of the North Pacific and North Atlantic, amidst the white-capped waves and bottomless depths, humpback whales emerge as silent giants. They can reach up to 50 feet in length and weigh over 33 tons, and are characterized by their long pectoral fins, like great arms sweeping through the water. Despite their colossal size, humpback whales are mostly solitary, gathering only during mating or migration seasons. However, when it comes to feeding, especially when they hunt schools of herring or krill, they will cooperate closely to execute one of the ocean's most spectacular strategies: bubble net feeding. This temporary cooperation shows that even solitary creatures know when they need an ally. And when they do, they act with absolute precision. Orcas are the apex predators of the ocean. Members of the dolphin family, they grow up to 30 feet long and weigh nearly 6.5 tons. And are renowned for their striking black and white coloration and extraordinary intelligence. They live in small groups called pods, typically consisting of mothers and their offspring. It is an incredibly cohesive matriarchal society. Thanks to complex communication skills, they hunt with high strategy and coordination. Their prey is diverse, from small fish and seals to large sharks and even whale calves. Orcas even teach their young how to hunt by simulating situations, something rarely seen outside the human sphere. Intelligent and highly organized, they are the true queens of the deep sea. When the rains flood the Amazon and the forest floor is submerged, the piranha, a notoriously predatory fish, enters a unique phase of hunting. Piranhas typically live in schools, possessing razor-sharp teeth, swift reflexes, and an extremely keen sense of smell. They feed mainly on small fish, carrion, and insects. In the vast, flooded world of the Amazon forest, the piranha is a predator that doesn't need to move, but rather lets its prey fall into its trap. On the sun-scorched grasslands of Africa, a land of magnificent names like lion, leopard, crocodile, and hyena. Few would suspect that an animal bearing a less than elegant name like the warthog is one of the savannah's fiercest warriors. Though neither as elegant nor as graceful as a cheetah, the warthog lives a long and comfortable life, thanks to its clever strategies and the natural weapons on its face, its tusks. At first glance, they might seem like a wilder version of a domestic pig. With a short, stocky body, thick, sparsely haired skin, and a face full of warts. But do not be deceived by their strange appearance. What stands out most are their long, upward-curving upper tusks, which, along with their sharp lower tusks, form a highly effective weapon. They charge with surprising speed, lowering their heads and striking powerfully with their tusks in a counterattack strong enough to injure predators. There are many cases where hyenas, leopards, and even lions have had to abandon the chase of such an unappealing but difficult opponent. Warthogs are not just strong, they are also highly strategic. They often use abandoned burrows, especially those made by aardvarks, as shelters. When they enter the burrow, they reverse in, pointing their tusks towards the entrance, creating an impregnable fortress. In their daily lives, warthogs eat grass, roots, and occasionally insects, living a simple but highly adapted existence. They run with their tails held erect like an antenna, giving them a quick and quirky appearance, but making them unpredictable and difficult for predators to hunt. The warthog may not win the savannah's beauty contest, But if there were a competition for resilient survival, it would surely be a top contender. In a world where beauty can sometimes be a trap, the warthog's ruggedness and tenacity are the keys to survival. There is one thing that few would suspect. The warthog, seemingly solitary and shy, has a close ally in the wild world: the mongoose. On the arid plains of Africa, when the heat is intense and parasites begin to multiply on a warthog's skin, there are no spas open for business. But not to worry, for there is a mobile grooming team. The banded mongoose appears, ready for service. Whenever the warthogs feel the need for some personal care, they lie on their bellies, stretch out their legs, and settle onto the ground. But it is actually a polite invitation. The mongooses scurry over, hop onto the warthog's back, and begin to remove ticks, mites, parasites, and dead skin cells. In return, they receive a hearty, easy-to-find meal without having to dig. This relationship is a perfect symbiosis, where everyone benefits. The warthog gets cleaned, feels more comfortable, and is less prone to skin infections. Meanwhile, the mongoose gets a full stomach, stays safe, and enjoys a bristle massage. Not all large animals have the patience and intelligence required to cooperate in this way, but the warthog does. Beneath the brilliant light of day, there are shadows that are more silent and more dangerous, hunting with absolute precision. At the edge of the short grass, where steam rises from the hot rocks and birds hop restlessly. The caracal crouches, its tufted ears erect, attentive to the slightest sound. With its golden coat, slender body, and erect ears, the caracal is a skilled predator of the arid regions. Its powerful hind legs allow it to leap over 10 feet into the air and catch birds in flight with its sharp claws. Living a solitary life at the edge of the forest and among the bushes, the caracal needs to make no sound. If the caracal is a predator of heat and dust, its relatives have chosen other battlegrounds, no less harsh. On the endless plains of Africa, under the scorching sun and the winds that sweep through the grass, the lion appears without needing to hide. It walks towards the light like a king ascending his throne. Although the lion is called the king of the jungle, not all males have the right to wear the crown. On the African plains, power is not inherited, but seized with teeth, claws, and blood. When males come of age, they leave their mother's pride and wander, forming coalitions, often between brothers, waiting for the chance to overthrow another pride. The long mane, a distinguishing feature of the male lion, is not just a symbol of beauty, but also a biological shield. Typically, males with dense, dark manes are more highly valued by females, and they also suffer fewer injuries in battles thanks to the protection it affords their neck and face from bites. It is a harsh but effective survival strategy, deeply ingrained in the species' instinct. However, a male lion's reign is short, typically lasting from 2 to 4 years. power on the savannah is never permanent. Only instinct, strength, and blood are real. When the roaring subsides and the victor's identity is established, a new order is set, not just on the battlefield, but also at home. And that is when the role of the lionesses comes to the fore. Silent, resilient, and utterly crucial. Unlike the males who are born to fight, protect, and then depart, the lioness is the soul that binds all members of the pride. They are the skilled hunters, the mothers, the protectors. Each female gives birth to 1 to 4 cubs after about 110 days of gestation. The cubs are born in the dense bush, away from the pride for the first few weeks. They are blind, small, weak, and completely dependent on their mother. In the early stages of life, the lioness protects her cubs alone, keeping them away from enemies like hyenas, leopards, or even strange male lions. Only when the cubs are old enough to keep up with the pride does the mother bring them back. And from then on, the learning begins. Typically, lionesses hunt in groups, and their perfect coordination gives them a higher success rate than most other predators. Meanwhile, the cubs watch from a distance, mimicking their mother's behavior and sometimes playing with the prey as if it were a toy. But these games are the first step to becoming a hunter. There is no specific season for life to begin, but as the fangs lengthen, the claws sharpen, and the speed increases. The lion cubs gradually step into the harsh world their mothers know so well. Midday. The sun scorches everything. Most life seeks shelter. Except for her. Alone, exhausted, but hunger allows a hunter no rest. A warthog, the perfect target, if she can get close enough. No prize, only precious energy, burned in vain. Even for the queen of the savannah, failure is a constant companion. She is forced to begin again. And here, weakness always attracts uninvited guests. The opportunists have caught the scent from afar. Hyenas have long been dismissed as mere scavengers, but the truth is they are hunters as organized, persistent, and fearsome as lions. With their low-slung bodies, muscles concentrated in the forequarters, and the most powerful jaws in the carnivorous world, a hyena can crush a skull or devour the remains of a carcass in minutes. Hyenas do not hunt alone, but move in clans of 10 to 30 individuals, coordinating their movements perfectly, and dividing the tasks of chasing, surrounding, and killing. When hyenas pinpoint their prey, their strength and numbers are their greatest advantages. And some males have died on the battlefield or been forced to abandon their kill after hours of struggle. However, the majority does not always win. On the harsh savannah, power belongs to no one forever, but to those who constantly test the limits of their ability to survive. In this wild world, strength is not given to the mightiest, but to the one who understands the brutal rhythm of nature and knows how to dance on the edge of the abyss. There is no stronger species, no permanent loser, only an endless struggle between instinct and choice, between opportunity and peril. Under the sunset of the rainy season, the saddle-billed stork appears as still as a living statue. It has a wingspan of over 9 feet, a very impressive figure for a bird. This stork species often lives alone or in pairs to protect its territory around a water source. Each gentle step on the shallow water shows the infinite patience of the hunter. Its diet is very rich, from fish and shrimp to even snakes or young birds. Despite its striking appearance, the saddle-billed stork is a very quiet bird. They only make very soft sounds to communicate and protect their nest. This is a clever tactic to avoid drawing the attention of surrounding predators. The huge nests are built right at the water's edge for convenience in raising their young. Each clutch, the mother stork, lays 1 to 3 eggs and spends a month incubating them into shape. Their presence is a vibrant highlight in the watery natural landscape. The grey heron does not need bright colors. Its strength lies in absolute precision. The black crest and shaped neck are formidable weapons for hunting. It can stand motionless for hours, waiting for the opportunity to launch a lightning-fast strike. Its high adaptability helps the grey heron survive even in temporary water bodies. The skills of this bird go far beyond mere hunting. A special claw helps it keep its feathers clean and light for movement. Grey herons prefer to build communal nests high up, creating bustling bird gardens near rivers. These sturdy nests are often reused by them over many years. Each breeding season, the mother heron will incubate 3 to 5 pale blue eggs for about 28 days. When the dry season comes, they can fly hundreds of kilometers to find new water bodies. If you have experiences in Namibia or the Miombo, please share them with us below.